Hello everyone, I am Prepper Princess, the author of Living on Almost Nothing. If you are interested in purchasing this book, I will go ahead and leave a link down in the description box below. I have lived below the poverty line my entire adult life in order to reach my personal goals and because I just love my life the way that it is. But people often ask me, what would you do if you became homeless and lost it all? Let's get to it. All right, everyone, let's be 100% honest. If we truly became homeless, most of us would just make a phone call. I can think of at least 15 friends and family members that would take me in for as long as I needed without question. Of those 15 people, at least 3 of them have asked me to move in with them on several occasions, but I refused given that I have my own home. Totally okay, but if you have the option of not being homeless, suck up your ego and ask for help. One of my favorite books is called Scratch Beginnings, and it was written by a man named Adam Shepard. He was put on a bus with $20 in his pocket, not knowing where he was going to end up, and he gave himself a year to attain the American dream. He succeeded. 10 years later, he made a YouTube video doing the exact same thing, but in a different location that he was not aware of, and only for 1 month. Within that month, he had a fully furnished room rented, and he managed to save over $1,000 by working hard and saving his money. His philosophy on how to do things is very similar to what I would do. His book was written in response to the book Nickel and Dimed, which was written about a woman that attempted to do the same exact thing and she failed. She did things differently. She spent money on hotel rooms and new jeans and things like that. And she moved from job to job, not staying long enough to make a difference or to obtain a promotion. This proves that what you are attempting to do can be attained. If you are attempting to achieve the American dream, you will. If you are attempting to prove that the American dream cannot happen, you will. One of Adam's main goals on day one was to work and find a form of communication and transportation. Once these 2 things are obtained, you are now mobile and you have the ability to apply for jobs and receive and make phone calls to any and all job prospects. I completely agree with this. He also went to the library looking for accommodations as well as work. I would do this too. If you are homeless, you want a home and location is key. You want to choose a place where you will not freeze in the wintertime if you remain homeless for an extended period of time. I personally would recommend going to a place that has an older average age that has a lot of elderly people and retired people. The reason for this is that many of these people want to remain in their homes, but they need help in order to do so. It is no longer safe for them to cook or drive or run regular errands that we at our young age take for granted. Many of these people will offer free room and board in exchange for cooking meals, mowing the lawn, and maybe driving them to their doctor's appointments or to the grocery store. Additionally, many elderly and retired people need a handyman for small things around their house. I know from experience that if you are a contractor in an area like this, it is not hard to stay employed. All you have to do to succeed is show up when you say you're going to show up, do what you say you are going to do, and charge less than your competitors. Word of mouth with the elderly is better than any marketing or advertising that you could take advantage of. No matter where you live, people talk. If you offer an excellent service and your customer is left happy and you have charged a fair amount to have the work done, you will get more work the next day and the next day and the next day and so on. Where I live at this time, you cannot get a contractor to save your life. Someone will show up and say they can do something, then they'll be halfway done with the project and then they'll say they cannot do it. Yes, this has happened to me. Someone will say that they can replace your windows only to show up and realize that your siding is something that they have never worked with before, and then they'll refuse to complete the job. Most electricians in these areas have a 4 to 5 month wait period, and people are forced to do these jobs themselves. However, when you are elderly, these tasks prove to be very difficult. Again, something that is taken for granted in our youth. This is what I would be looking for in that position. If possible, I would obtain an additional part-time job in order to make money and save it for first, last, and deposit for an apartment if that is your preference, or I would save it and buy a cheap piece of rural property in the $2,000 range. I would continue to work until I could afford a minivan and would use the minivan as a place to sleep if the elderly caregiver option did not work out. In many cases, these elderly people will eventually need to move into an assisted living facility. If that were to happen, I would have shelter in my minivan and I would have the land to park it on. A gym membership in most places can be had for $15 a month. It is $12 where I live, and I would get a membership so that I could stay clean and I could shower every single day, and I could even fill up a 1-gallon jug from the gym every day. While continuing to work, the money would continue to get saved, and in the meantime, I would go ahead and be looking for someone giving away something like a free single-wide mobile home that I could park on my property. I would also be using the food bank for as much food as I possibly could so I could spend less. If you choose this option, please be sure to verify with your county and obtain any permits necessary to continue. From this point, I could slowly save up for an off-grid solar system. I could maybe put some ads on Facebook asking for furniture, and I could save up some money for some paint and flooring or whatever else might be needed. Beds would be purchased absolutely at the thrift store, and these are always new and they are always still in their packaging despite what people tell you, and I could work on a composting system and water storage. If I keep the gym membership for showers and for water, not much is really needed. Maybe a propane stove, but being off-grid would be my main goal. I would then start contributing to my 401k at my job, and then I would just keep doing that until it was time to retire. If I were able to make a friend, I might have them move in with me for a really low rent amount, but more money is more money. There are a million different ways to do it. I do have an advantage over many others, and I am fully aware of this. I do not have any addictions. I do not require any medications, nor am I mentally ill or unstable. This is not the case for many homeless, and we must help them if we can. These are very, very sad stories where people have given up hope or they need mental help or help with their addictions. Just remember that if you ever find yourself in a horrific condition such as this, do not give up hope. Do not pick yourself up and dust yourself off just to head back into the storm. Become so fired up that you are greater than the storm itself and the storm comes to fear you. Do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out. What is going on, YouTube? So I went to Walmart to buy non-essential items. Seems like the essential items have gone up in price and non-essential items have gone down in price, but not in the case of lotion. So I bought this and it's like doubled in price. And I was like, oh my gosh, because I just ran out. So I did this. And look at all of that that's still left. It's like a quarter of the bottle. Look at that. That's how much is still left. It's like a quarter of the bottle because the pump wouldn't reach it. And I think, I don't know. Do they do it on purpose? Anyway, folks, cut open your stuff. And there's a lot to be had on the inside. This will last me another 2 weeks to a month if I can keep it covered in plastic. So there you have it. There's a quick tip for you. Cut open your lotion bottles. You are so well behaved. Get it. Right there. That's my boy. Such a good boy. You won't take it unless I say it's okay. Oh, you're so good. Oh, you're so good.